I have this difficult task of coming and being the last speaker in a post-lunch session where all the great people have spoken. So what I'll do is, I'll try and, being a consultant, I'm used to giving a lot of gyan, but I'll try and make sure I don't do that. And I'll give you my way of looking at measuring performance. Now, one of the first things which came into my mind was, have you heard of Alice in Wonderland? Now, Alice gets lost. She meets the Cheshire cat. So it's a cat on top of the tree. She says, would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here? That depends a good deal on where you want to get to. I don't much care where. Then it doesn't matter which way you go. The same is true for performance management. You need to know where you want to go and what is the path that you will take. It again reminds me of once we had a client meeting and I heard Bhiwadi and the meeting was at Bhiwani. So you can imagine one is in this part, other one is the other part, and we got lost. And I met somebody, मैंने पूछा, भाई साहब ये रास्ता कहाँ जाता है? पाकिस्तान जाता है, आपको कहाँ जाना है? And I was like, okay, rustic guy, but gave me that message. So I told him, so you need to be very clear in terms of basics. Now I was talking to somebody else, this is one of the business owners, and he told me, Yogesh, reward follows performance. I've been telling this thing to my people. They don't seem to understand. I told them, sir, I agree with you, but clarity on what constitutes as performance and what the reward is precedes performance. As an employee, I need to know what is it that I should do at the end of a year, what is expected of me, and what is it that I'll get at the end of the year. Now, some of the things that we do when we sit with clients are, we ask certain questions. Is it Pareto principle? Do you have superstars who give success? Who are your successors, change agents? Is it socialism? Everybody goes for same training program. Does everybody get the same kind of salary? What capacity do your people have in responding to market changes? So as a company, we have been doing that, helping companies across the world. I'll run through these slides. Now, what is it that we do? The first thing that we look at and see is, in PMS, you are not measuring an activity. You are measuring outcomes. There are a lot of times people say, sir, I need to make 40 phone calls in a day. I need to make 2 meetings, 10 proposals, these many orders. Now, if you'll only go by doing that, there may be somebody who will do all the tick marks, but will not achieve what you want to achieve. So one thing very clearly, we are not looking at activities, we have to look at outcomes. Now, what is performance management? One was the example, Dilbert, look at it. That time of a year, when I sharpen my saw, I'll come, aaj aayega bakra halan hone ke liye. It's not a post-mortem. It's not the end of a year you say, tumne ye nahi kiya. What we personally believe is, it's a process of establishing a shared understanding about what is to be achieved, how it is to be achieved. So it has to be a win-win process so that it increases probability of success. Some of the things that you will use performance management, performance measurement for. Now, Rajesh had talked about linking PMS to strategy. Without linking performance measurement to strategy, you can't achieve anything. Why? At the end of a day, the last person needs to know what is it that it is in for me, what is it that I'm doing. So you may have a vision, you may have a mission, you'll have certain goals. At the end of it, any strategy fails because of execution. So at the last mile connectivity, or the last person needs to know, what is my role? What is it that I need to do? So you have power of alignment. You may have organization goals, team goals, and individual goals. Now, in each organization, you will have these. One of the first things that we say is, whenever you're doing a performance measurement, if your employees and the organization have to grow, then the 3 levels have to be in sync with each other. Integration of at least 2 levels is very important, with individual integration being necessary. If an individual is not aligned with the organization goals, whatever you may measure, so many times it happens, at the end of a day, you do performance appraisal. Everybody meets their targets, yet the organization is not meeting their targets. What is happening? There is no alignment. I'll run through these. I have some very stiff benchmarks. So A is you need to look at certain business results And then you need to also look at people results. So Chitra talked about the way they are doing it at Pepsi. We are doing it slightly differently. What we do is we have people results on as one quadrant, and we have business results on the other. And we give 1/3 rating to the people results and 2/3 rating to the business results. So best is we are saying when people are high on both people results as well as business results, where you get sustained business results through people. Now there are times when you may have best of times. Everybody gets along well with others. People look up to me. I look up to my boss. We have a great time, but business results don't follow. So what do? You'll have good time. Afterwards, somebody will come and put a tala and you'll have to go back. Then there may be some companies where they neither get along well with others, nor do they meet the business results. Again, failure. A lot of times this happens. We are all running after targets, quarterly targets, monthly, weekly, daily closing. We get business results, but at what cost? The attrition goes up. And the next year, you need to start again with a new team. So the way we work is we give 66% weightage to business results and 34% weightage to the people results. But then again, one size does not fit all. That depends upon your company, your culture. And again, we say, we look at it and, okay, and we also give a salary, the rewards based on it. One is we need to look at and say at the end of a year, where am I vis-a-vis the competition? And then performance comes into picture. In case there is somebody who does not meet performance, the person does not get any increment and does not even get any compa ratio correction. And of course, if in case the person does well, then the person gets an increment. Murphy's law, this is, I think, got, okay. No, it started working again.
No, not at all. Nothing. I'm not doing anything.
So then you look at it again, you need to have matrix to do all the performance management, ensure that the normal curves are there and do all the statistical checks. And then we finally say, okay, I've got these things. At the end of it, there have to be certain behaviors which an employee needs to know that if I exhibit these, I will get success. So a competency model needs to be in place. You need to then assess a person on those competencies using an assessment development center. You need to have your matrix, look at and see who are the people who are high performance, who are the people who are at the bottom, what is the standard deviation. You need to work on the development plan for each one of those people. You also need to have a 360-degree assessment. Basically, it is in form of giving a feedback, because if I am not demonstrating those behaviors, if I don't get feedback on those behaviors, I'll never be able to change. And then finally, we say you also need to look at your performance potential linkage. And you may divide this into 2x2 or 3x3. And of course, you may get certain high flyers. But that's not the end of it. I've done my performance measurement. At the end of it, I've said there are certain people who are maintain, invest, realign, divest, whatever it is. But then there may be certain people who are defined as high flyers. What is it that I do post my measurement on managing expectations of those high flyers? They are my high flyers. Do they fly out of my organization, move into my neighboring organization? What do I do for their development?